Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming down. We have two releases today. We're going to be speaking about the seizure in Oppenheimer Park, and then we'll be talking about the vehicle inspection facility. I'm Sergeant Aaron Roed, Media Relations Officer for the Vancouver Police Department. Roed is R-O-E-D. Vancouver Police have seized another stash of weapons from a home close to Oppenheimer Park, further raising concerns of public safety and violence around the park. Just before 1 o'clock p.m. on March 4th, officers received information that there was a large amount of weapons inside of a suite in the area of Dunlevy and East Cordova. After obtaining a search warrant, officers seized 9 imitation firearms, swords, hatchets, and several other suspected stolen items. This investigation is ongoing, and no arrests have been made at this time. This is the third weapon seizure with a large amount of weapons in the park and the surrounding area in the past 9 days. We did have a release on March 4th where officers were investigating an assault in the park and while investigating a domestic report on February 27th. We are happy to say that more weapons have been taken from the street, but we are cautious and we do want to remind people about public safety and that these weapons are on the street. We will continue to take steps to improve public safety in the area for everyone. These releases really come down to public safety and letting everybody know what is happening in their area. If anybody does see any criminal activity in the area of Oppenheimer, the downtown east side, and the surrounding community, please call 911 if it is an emergency. Is there any questions regarding the seizure in the area of Oppenheimer Park?
Are you actively, investigating that area? I can remember Chief Palmer back maybe a couple of months ago was talking about it's so dangerous there, even though there's 4 officers at once. Is it sort of an active ongoing thing, or is it as you come upon them sort of thing?
Our positioning as our police officer in the area has not changed since late August and early September. We still have a large increased presence where we are very highly visible and we are responding to incidents as needed. We're not initiating these seizures. These 3 seizures, which we have noticed in the past 9 days in the area of Oppenheimer Park, have come under the course of separate investigations.
I can vaguely remember he mentioned a lot of gang activity in the park still. Is that what you're still experiencing?
That is what we're still experiencing. There is still drug routes coming out of Oppenheimer Park, and we do have gang activity in the area. We do have our organized crime section as well as our drug units working that area on what is going on and dealing with these people. And coming with the drug trade as well as gangs in the area is violence. And that is very well known, and what we're seeing is these 3 separate large stashes of weapons that we are seizing and taking off of the street.
Is it an extreme that we're seeing at Oppenheimer? Is it like a microcosm of just huge seizures compared to where there's other areas of the city that are violent?
The information that we're releasing comes down to public safety. We want people to know that we are seizing a large amount of weapons at one time. We've had 3 in the past 9 days. So this isn't extreme. Our officers do seize weapons on a daily basis in the city of Vancouver. In and around Oppenheimer, this is an increase. We don't normally see these large stashes of weapons in one area. So if there is 3, there may be more. People need to be aware and call 911 if they do see any criminal activity.
Whether the guns are real or not, can you speak to that? Because an officer doesn't know that when it's pointed. Or can you speak a bit about they're as dangerous as a real gun?
When you look at these weapons that were seized and the imitation guns, when you look at them, nobody's going to know at first glance that they are imitation. So our officers have to think about their safety, the safety of the public when responding to these calls. At this time, we are glad that we were able to take these weapons off of the street, but first glance, looking at the handguns, we wouldn't know that they're imitation. These knives are very real and they're very dangerous. So people need to be aware, take caution in that area, and to notify the police if they do see anything. All right, we're going to be moving on to the CVSE.
We'll leave those pictures up there for later.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. An audit of local businesses conducted late last month by Vancouver Police and the Commercial Vehicle Safety Enforcement Unit, CVSE, has found that the company was completing vehicle inspections with no authorized inspector working at the facility. Vancouver Police Department Traffic Unit investigators determined that 40 vehicles had been inspected since the authorized inspector stopped working at this facility. Budget Brake and Muffler, located at 245 East 2nd Avenue in Vancouver, has been issued close to $24,000 in fines, and the owner has been charged with 40 counts of unauthorized person signing inspection report, contrary to Section 25.10 sub 3 of the Motor Vehicle Act regulations. Each violation comes with a fine of $598, with a total amount of $23,920 in fines. The owner has surrendered his inspection facility designation and his facility operator certificate to the CVSE. Of these 40 vehicles, 17 were commercial vehicles, 1 tow truck, and 16 limousines, with the remaining being private vehicles. For public safety, the VPD, as well as the CVSE, is contacting the commercial vehicles to advise them that their inspections are invalid and that they will need to have them inspected again at a valid facility.
These inspections were they brakes? Was it seat belts? Do we know what the inspections were?
For these ones, these were more commercial vehicles, like a limousine or a tow truck trying to get on the road. So that there's a public safety issue and a road safety issue in this, and that these vehicles would be transporting people and transporting your vehicles.
So it could range from anything from brakes to, tires or anything. Is that what I'm getting at? It's not one.
It's not one specific inspection that was going on. There was 40 different vehicles. A large amount of them were commercial vehicles, with 16 of them being limousines.
And sorry, what space of time are we talking about these 40? How far back do you go to get that?
In approximately 1 year, this person hasn't worked at the facility for.
It doesn't necessarily mean those vehicles are in poor shape. They just haven't got the certifications. That's exactly
right.
They're not being pulled off the road today.
These ones are not being pulled off the road. We're going to be informing the vehicles that did get inspections done, and they believed that they had valid certificates to get them recertified and inspected by a facility that does have a valid license.
Is there anything that, say, an operator can do to ensure that the facility they go to, they may have a sign up that they're certified, but is there anything that they can do?
Well, as an operator, it'd be an extra steps. That would be extra steps where you could possibly check with the CVSE to make sure that each facility does have a designated inspector who is qualified and does have a certificate to complete those inspections. That would be above and beyond what someone would normally do. I wouldn't be expecting that. These people who did get their inspections done did go to what they believed was a valid facility for inspections.
Long-term for this operator, would you continue to sort of keep an eye on this operator once he gets his certificate? If he gets his certificate?
Yeah, the CVSE as well as the Vancouver Police Department do conduct annual audits on all these facilities, so these things will be continued on, yes. Anything else on anything else?
Just want to ask you about that police commission report that came out today. Do you have anything to add to that?
We don't have anything to add at this time. We are looking at the report, though.
Good question.
Sorry.
Are we able to just
see
show
the
the
knives?
time?
Yeah, sure. Ross, are you able to put the, we're done?